Keysweat is not that fire.
He's still getting money
He's
though.
just a
doing
heartthrob
shows.
nigga.
He's still doing
Definitely.
shows.
We ain't talking about money.
Oh,
we
oh,
just,
okay.
you know.
Oh, okay.
That's debatable.
What you mean? Keysweat like fire like that?
Not fire like legend status, but like
No, he's
nostalgia,
legendary.
nostalgia status like is on par. Like
Yeah.
his shit will rock at a family cookout in like 10 years.
Yeah, definitely.
More than 10 years, just for the rest of life, it'll just rock out, bro. I think that.
Shit, it's gonna be at my cookouts. I don't know about y'all.
facts. Big facts. Shit, everybody cook out.
Yeah.
Keep that nigga.
So we'll just do. You all like the way you sound. You sound good in your head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't sound too bad.
Did you happen to have the intro
I can
music
hear
we
myself.
use?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah. Y'all can hear me all right?
It's surprising
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
camera can really see you on that angle.
Word.
It doesn't look like it.
It
but
doesn't look like
yeah.
it at all.
It's a slightly tilted lens?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
All right.
I'll just put mine under the coat.
Just in case somebody asks, hey, you got your visitor pass?
I just started slimming down, so I'm buying Walmart shirts again. Feel me?
I don't know what that had to do with anything, but
I just
hey,
want to
I
point
feel
it
you.
out. That's why I got the Dragon Ball Z.
I feel
shit.
you,
This shit
bro.
hard.
Okay.
Yeah, Walmart have a lot of hidden gems.
Facts. I'm about to. What? Shoot.
Yeah. I'm about to go to a wedding, and I need to get some dress shoes from Walmart just because it's so.
Word.
I'm gonna
It's
hurry.
convenient.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
But I mean, like, if it looks nice, it doesn't really matter where you get it from, as long as if it looks nice. You know?
Exactly.
People try to downplay like Walmart and Target and places like that, but it's like you'll be surprised. You find a lot of good fashion at these places, bro.
Hidden drip.
Mm.
Alright, so I just need 10 seconds of silence. I'll play the intro and then we're good to go.
Cool.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's start the 10 seconds of silence now.
Check, check, check. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, my sick ass voice, that means you're now tuned into the Introverted Intuition Podcast. My name is Jeff, aka the Ambitious Introvert. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do this episode because it's a bit unique. This episode was supposed to happen with you guys.
Absolutely.
We're gonna introduce yourself in a second, but like
Okay.
this episode was supposed to happen, like I think maybe over a month ago, at least with you, Grizz.
Right.
But like we had to reschedule, so I'm kind of doing this in a different way. If you're hearing this episode, it'll be the first of 2 episodes of that week. Whenever you hear it, probably sometime next week. And so this is going to be kind of like our first type of bonus episode, mostly because it's supposed to been happen, it's long overdue. Might as well put it out with another episode. So kind of like a working title in terms of that. But we're not going to do this too often. But this is just because I want this episode out as soon as possible. Because like I said, it's supposed to been happen. And today with me, my co-hosts aren't here. Everyone's absent. CR is somewhere. Coco and Laney are somewhere. I hope they're all okay. But today I have 2 guests with me, one on the way. 2 guys who I told you guys before we got on the mic, before the show started, that I was just instantly like, I guess, first of all, impressed at your talent.
Thank you.
Because that's what I noticed
appreciate
first.
it.
And then I met you guys as people,
Right.
face to face, and you were just genuine individuals.
Yeah.
So I was immediately like down to have you guys on my show
Appreciate
and
it,
just
man.
talk. And yeah, so please introduce yourselves to the people.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, so I go by Grizz LaFleur. You can follow me on Instagram at Grizz_LaFleur. I'm a producer, rapper, artist, and overall music lover.
I go by the name Rock The Ellis. I'm an artist from Jersey. I dabble a little bit in producing. I mean, making music, but solely right now I'm just writing songs, trying to get push a lot of good content out there. I'm also VP of my own company, Jump Out the Frame Records, slash entertainment also. So yeah.
Yeah, and the facilitator of our meeting, who's not here, CR.
Right.
We've got to shout out CR because I
Yeah,
went and met
Jump
you
Out the
guys and
Frame.
got introduced to your music. Yeah, jump out the frame for real. And but it's crazy. Like we met, we chopped it up. I wasn't sober. I don't think the times I met y'all.
I've never been.
Nah, I
But
think I
like,
caught you when you were sober though.
or you
Yeah,
caught me on the
yeah,
cusp of getting fucked up.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, it got rough. But I don't really know about y'all too personally, like too much. Like I don't know really where y'all from, how y'all got into music. So whoever wants to start, just please tell me and the listeners your story a bit. How'd you
Shit.
get into music? Where you from? Blah blah blah.
You got yourself situated?
Oh yeah, it's connecting.
Alright.
Well, I guess I'll go. Well, I was introduced to music by my uncle. My uncle raised me. His name is Trez, and he was a producer. You know, as I was younger, he had three soul artists that he worked with, but in general, he's a producer. He had a studio in the basement and everything, and he used to make beats, engineer, you name it, anything with music, he was able to do it. And just growing up, I just watched him do everything. You know, he would let me in on studio sessions, let me see the background of how everything's done. So that's why when I say, I make beats a little bit, because like I was introduced to the background of music also. And a lot of people don't know that about me. Everybody just think I'm an artist, but So yeah, I mean, growing up, he would let me, listen to his instrumentals. But one thing he would never let me do is get in the studio. He would never let me get in the booth. Da da da. But he would always let me hear his material, his instrumentals, the songs he did with artists and stuff like that. And like, he introduced me to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like old school hip hop, not even like the new school, like old school, like
80s, 90s type shit.
80s, 90s type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how I was introduced to music. It was in house for me. It was in house for me.
Word.
So I mean, my rooms, it was the basement, studio, and my room. My room's right next to the studio, so it's just like while the studio session going on, I could hear the
Yeah,
bass.
everything.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Beeping on the wall and shit like that. So it's like, yeah, it was a good experience growing up. Just seeing everything. Just
What part of Jersey did you
person.
grow up?
Roselle, New Jersey. So
Roselle.
I'm from that 908. Know what I mean? So
Facts. What about you, Grizz? Where'd your musical journey begin?
Shit.
How did it begin?
I would say my musical journey began in the motherfucking backseat, bro. Like, I remember stories of my mom telling me, like, my dad coming to drop me off. He's got the souped up Honda with the sound system in the back. I'm in the baby seat, thumping some goddamn feels like my life's playing tricks on me, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
Some old school shit. And she's like, why you got my son back there with all this loud ass music? And like, nah, he like it. Like at the age of 4, I could spit a whole Bone Thugs and Harmony verse.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? Just because I was listening to it so much.
Word.
And then my mom would always like quiz me, like riding around, who's that voice or what instrument is that? You know what I'm saying? So I always I feel like I was always being tested for it. You know what I'm saying? So I can always know and understand what's going on. And then like people noticed that I had a knack for it, so they would ask me even crazier questions like how many times did they double that singer's voice, or what type of EQ did they put on it, you know? And I was able to answer these things because I listen to music a lot.
yeah.
So it just developed from there.
That's crazy. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone's introduction to music is through our parents. Like through
Yeah.
osmosis, their love of it
That's the root.
Right.
is
That's the root
absolutely,
kind of
it, bro.
hereditary in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's transferred over to us.
Yeah.
Like I remember my mom like loved Jagged Edge. That was like kind of one of my first
Yeah.
earliest forms of like really liking music.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I got into like going backwards to like Michael, and then
Okay.
even further than that,
Yeah.
jazz and shit like that. So, what were you from originally?
Shit, I was born in Irvington,
was
lived
raised
in Mount Clair till I was about 8, and then moved to Roselle, lived there from 8 to 2019, or 20 or 19, and then now live in Mount Olive, New Jersey.
Oh, he get the details, because I grew up. I grew up in Irvington too,
Right.
on Florence Avenue.
Oh
And
shit.
when I was 10, I moved to Roselle.
Mm.
That's for the rest of my life. I just grew up in Roselle, then
Yeah.
I moved and stuff like that.
I was raised on Elmwood Terrace. Like,
Okay.
you're not familiar with that, L? Elmwood Terrace. It was like, I don't know if you're familiar with the pizza place Big Joe's.
Big Joe.
It was kind of like, it had roaches on the pizza. That's what it was really known for, but
Right.
I ain't never eat no roach pizza, but
I'm like, I was about to ask
Right.
my
Nah,
question right there. I'm like, you ate some roach pizza?
I've
bro?
seen one, but I've seen one.
Hey man.
So, can y'all recall, like, this might be a little too far back to remember, maybe the first time you decided to write raps or try to write raps? Did it start like high school, middle school?
Shit. My first song I probably wrote, had to be like 13. and I still got that notebook to this day. Like
Was
of
your
just
earliest
my,
raps?
of my earliest raps,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it's a little bent up right now, but I just used to just I had instrumentals on hand, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
from my uncle, but I was never able to like get in the studio and just record and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
he always, like I said, he always let me listen to him, so I always had written raps, you know what I'm
Right.
saying. But even when I didn't have instrumentals, I would just write, just freestyle and stuff like that.
So did you want to start that because of you heard what you were hearing, like you felt like you could do that too, or was it just
No,
a
I just
natural?
it was just a natural instinct. It was just like I just fell in love with hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And like you said, it's our parents introduced us to these genres, and I feel like hip hop it talked to me, I felt hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah.
What about you, Grizz? Do you recall what your earliest raps?
I don't
rhymes?
know when I started writing raps, but I know I did it real early. I could tell you when I stopped wanting to be a rapper and started wanting to be a producer.
Mm.
I
Hmm.
told Rover this story a couple days in the studio. He had a kick out of it. Pretty much, I was in sixth grade, and I'm in Mrs. Elizabeth's class at Grace Will Day.
Shout out to her.
And yeah, with the wooden teeth and the pins in her arm, that shit was crazy. But
Yeah. Took a backpack.
George Washington shit.
yeah, man. So yeah, I'm kicking it with her or whatever. She's giving us a test, and I look over to my man's. I forget his name, but I was like, "Yo, I just wrote these bars." Mind you, we in the middle of a test. You know, you ain't supposed to be talking, whatever.
Yeah.
So he like, "All right." I spit them to him, and he was just like, "Yo, man, I'm trying to learn, bro."
Hmm.
And I was just so hurt. I was just like,
Dang.
"All right, fuck it."
Dang, so ever since
You know?
then?
Yeah, but I always wanted to learn how to make beats. It was just because I'm young, so I didn't have an on hand producer.
Yeah.
And uh, when I got to Votech, my man Trayvon, he's actually a producer too, named Blazin, DJ Blazin,
Mm.
out of North Carolina. Uh, he downloaded Fruity Loops on my computer.
Hmm.
I didn't ask him to. He
Mm.
just threw it
Yeah.
on there. And this is like 2000, I'd say 7. Yeah. And just
Mm.
so I just stopped drawing and whatever and just started making beats.
Yeah, 'cause Fruity Loops is easy to use too.
Right.
I heard that
right.
many
Fruity
times.
Loops is easy.
I kind of wanted to make beats myself when I was younger, but I never got past like the pencil on the lunch table.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone in their life, like any type of person involved with hip hop, had
Right.
their first-hand experience of trying to rap,
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to cipher and shit. Did y'all like cipher and battle
Oh,
coming
all
up?
the time.
Oh yeah,
All
like
the
battle.
time.
I mean, with me and Rod, Rod, he used to freestyle, anywhere we go, he get just on the spot, just freestyle. So I was always around niggas that just, freestyle,
Nah,
rap, and
spit.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was never able to freestyle, bro. Like, yeah,
Damn.
I was just never able to just grasp, that on the spot thought. You know what I'm saying? That thought process on the spot, and it just flows like that. I was just never able to do that. But I admire people that could do that shit. Like,
Facts.
It
that's-
seems kind of insane, like to
It-
have all those thoughts just stream out of you
yeah,
instantly.
And some
Yeah.
people do it with ease, like just flowing like water, just the thoughts, and it all makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You got different people that freestyle different ways, but it's just like I can't do it, bro. And like I tell people that offhand just so they know, like, because I'm not gonna sit here and try to freestyle for you if I
Yeah.
can't. If I can't.
I was gonna actually have a beat ready queued up for y'all. I forgot to get the
Hey.
outscore. It's just so y'all do like a little cipher and shit.
I wish. Shit, I wish.
I ain't stepping down.
Oh, so you
I
freestyle
can
like
get to it. I mean, I'm not the greatest in the world, but I give it a shot. You know what I mean?
word?
Shit,
I feel you.
that was a bar right there.
So can y'all recall the first time y'all tried to actually focus and hone in to make a song, like a song that made sense, a song that sounded good that you were confident in, like?
Motherfucker.
Because I feel people just rap and you know what I mean.
So, my first artist that I was working with, his name was Heartbreak London out of Memphis, and it was just this young kid I was working with. He would hit me up all the time. Yo, man, I fuck with your shit. Blah blah blah. I like your beats. Da 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 da. So I just started sending him stuff, and then like. He was working out at certain studios. Mind you, he's in Memphis, so he
Yeah.
was in Young Dolph's studio working with his engineers. So I'm like, cool. If I'm working with him, my stuff's getting played in that environment. Maybe it might get picked up. By another artist. Somebody else might hear it. Whatever. Da 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 da. And then after a while, it wasn't doing anything. Like
Yeah.
we released a couple projects. They did what they did, but it wasn't really sticking. As far as me and Rover, it's always kind of been there, but it was like times he would hit me up, say, "Yo, I need beats." I'll send them, but nothing dropped. And that happens a lot of times with artists as a producer. Like you could just send stuff to people,
Yeah.
and
You don't know when that shit's gonna drop.
right,
You
right.
just don't know.
So that I kind of changed up my whole style as far as to how I deal with artists. I don't
Mhm.
want to work with just anybody.
Yeah.
Like if I say I want to work with you, that's because I believe in your talent and I see you moving your product.
Mhm.
I don't want to give you something for you to sit it on the shelf, because that's pretty much what a label gonna do to me.
Yeah, there's a
You
lot
know?
of producers like that though.
Yeah.
They just send their shit to anybody because
Right.
they so eager to just to get out
Yeah.
there.
They
wanna
you know
be
what I'm saying?
heard.
They want to be
Yeah.
heard so bad.
So you have to personally believe in their vision as well for you to work for them.
If I don't know you, you probably not getting beats from me.
Mm.
You
Even
know
if they
what I
offer
mean?
him money, you don't do anything.
It's
for
not
them?
about the bread.
That's very interesting because
I got a lot of hustles. You feel me? So
That
like
is interesting,
I
bro.
do music for the love of it,
Mm.
and that's why I'm working with the team. Like what I'm working with, we go by
I got
OKG.
80,000 right now for that one beat. What's up?
But I fucks with you.
No,
so
no,
I'ma
you
take that
know me,
80.
you know me, you
So
know me.
I'm gonna take that 80,000.
I just see you in the hallway. I just see you in the hallway with your headphones on with your beat machine.
All right.
80,000 right here.
Let me clarify that. What I mean by if I don't know you, I'm not gonna work with you is like if you like up and coming, you know what I mean? Like I could get it if you hungry and you just starting out. That's a little different.
Right.
But if you've been around and your stuff just not moving, you ain't got no support system.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
kind of like I said. I don't want my product to get sat on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know?
See, now I kind of want to test y'all integrity in terms of like what y'all would do for money versus what you would do
Mm.
that you actually believe in, like your
Right.
morals and shit. So let's say tomorrow you walk out this door, you get a call from a label, right?
Mhm.
An exec, one of the scumbag type of execs who people who know
Yeah.
that he knew about all this R. Kelly shit, all this other dark shit that goes on in the industry, but he's offering you a big bag to be on his label.
Yeah.
Would you not work with him knowing that he was aware of all this dark shit that goes on in the industry? Or would you just walk away from the money and stand by your integrity and just, do what's right?
Well, that's a lot of details that come with that because you got like, the in between lines. I need to know what's in between the lines of that.
Well,
You
let's
know
say
what I'm
even
saying?
involved. Like, say this person is involved. Like, he was directly, I don't know, in the room. There's proof that this person was involved.
Yeah, nah.
But they
Well-
still have a job.
Once you said
Nah,
boy was in the room,
nah.
it's
Yeah,
alright.
like-
Nah,
It's
nah.
alright.
Yeah, no, not in the
It's
room of
alright.
like it happening, but just like he I don't know, he saw this shit going on. It's
Right.
it's out there. It's public knowledge.
Right.
But this
Well, R.
person
Kelly-
still has a
well, R.
job.
Kelly and all them.
There's more dark shit than that
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
going on
yeah,
in the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there anything that would like deter you from taking a check? Like anything that you just personally would
It's a
believe
lot
in?
of questions. I would have a lot of questions before I even consider to go down that route, bro.
Yeah.
Cause I'm down to the details, like contract type shit. Like I need
Right.
to know like everything. You know what I'm saying? It's
And I'm
like-
talking about how you like for you right now. Not saying you guys' pockets are hurting, but
Right.
like $100,000 could be life changing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was curious if like
Yeah.
right now if you got offered it.
Going right to get me a Bentley coupe. But
Nah, that won't be the first thing I do though. That sound like something nice, but I mean I'm all about flipping and investing. So
fact.
Yeah.
that'd be the first thing I'm gonna do.
Nah, I be
Fact.
talking like the bullshit, but I know how to, I gotta maintain.
It's-
I got a lot of people depending on me.
Word.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of feel like I could see you more as the type to stunt, and you as kind of the more type to invest. Not saying that's
Right.
who you are as a person, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel that like you would stunt
And
once,
don't get me wrong, when I get that 100, if I had it, and I mean,
You would
I'll
stunt?
stunt, bro. The first
but
thing
not to the OD amounts these rappers be doing, right?
Yeah. I mean, nah, cause I got vision, bro. This shit crazy. You know what I'm
Okay.
It's
saying?
a lot
Like,
of shit that I get done first before I start stunting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a lot of background shit in the background that got to get done. So I'm not worried about what people think of me or trying to be flash and shit like that. All that shit. I mean, I'm at the age where it's just like I need to get shit done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got mouths to feed and shit like that.
So you're mainly like a rapper. Oh, just to clarify to the listeners, these guys, they're cool. They're affiliated with each other, but they're not like a group. You guys are
Right.
you're your own separate artists, and I'm kind of doing like a group interview type
I
thing.
actually grew
JOTF.
up with this guy. I didn't grow
Facts.
up with him closely, but I mean, he was around. I mean, we went to the same school and everything. So it's
Facts.
like,
Right. I just don't want any confusion if they try to find you guys like on
Yeah.
after the interview and shit like that.
right.
yeah.
So, damn. So okay. So you guys seem like pretty cool, like real integ, like kind of like strong. You'll follow your morals
Yeah.
to the end, but
Yeah.
you got a certain amount of money in your bank account. You gonna stunt.
I mean, all right. So what it is, like left
Uh,
ear Riley, right ear Huey. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
word.
I got. All right, build up for the family. Da 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 da. Like,
Word.
yo, what's crazy is I used to practice when we was at Abraham Clark. I used to practice like speaking to the kids like as a motivational speaker because I knew I was gonna be like this. You feel me? Not even on no cocky shit. It's just once I set my mind to a goal, it happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But like I used to like I'll be in my room and I'll just like I have a big ass smile on my face just because I know I'm going to get to the point where I'm gonna be able to help or
Yeah.
support people with
And
what
motivate.
I'm doing in life.
I feel
You
you.
know what I mean? So it's just like I know other people can't see the vision,
Yeah,
but the way I see it, it's beautiful.
and that's the crazy thing. Other people can't see the vision.
You gotta
until
make
they-
it happen.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't see the vision in the
Yeah.
beginning. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you do about this type of people? Do you just keep working and try to convince them, or do if they
no,
just
it's
really
not,
don't
it's
see
not
it?
even about convincing. It's just stay on your. I'm gonna stay on my path regardless if you believe. If you don't believe me and you don't believe, I'm gonna stay on my path.
Right.
And eventually, you're gonna try to come in my energy. You're gonna try to follow my energy
Sure.
down the line. You know what I'm saying? At some point,
So let me ask you this though: like, you guys had to have been conscious of the fact that this is an oversaturated market. The podcast market is
Absolutely.
oversaturated.
Yeah.
So how did you guys have the confidence to be like, "Yo, this is what I really want to do,
Right.
so I'm gonna do it"?
just having a love for music, bro. It's like I genuinely have a love for music, and it's just like regardless of what the situation is. Oh, so you don't think I'm good? You don't think I look like a rapper? It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It matters in my mind what I believe in.
Right.
Right. As far as me, like I've had people in my immediate circle tell me it's not gonna work. You know, once you hit a certain age, hang it up. Like it's not for you, or you know what you're pursuing is a market that like you don't have any connections. And I actually have some family ties in the industry, but I'm not looking for that type of exposure. Because, like I said, it's not about the bread for me. I want to build something. I want to build something that's going to last. You know what I'm saying?
For generations.
Right.
That.
Def Jam celebrated 25 years. Rockefeller been around however long, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I want to be the next.
So you want to do it on your own?
Not on my own. Like we got the crew OKG.
Well, no, I mean like
Um,
your own way, like without using the help of
right,
inside
right.
resources.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Hmm.
but if it's on the level where they hear it and want to support, I'll take that. But I'm not going to be on your line. Hey, yo, cuz, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah, check this out. You know, 'cause
That's interesting.
that's kind of I don't know.
If I had ties right now to get into like a bigger podcast market, I think
Right.
if it was family, I think I would
Right.
use it because I know what I'm doing is so good.
Right.
It has to be heard. Like
Uh-huh.
it should be heard. So that's
Yeah.
interesting that you want to do it your own way.
Also, some of these people I don't know directly, so it's more like you know my mom kick it with them or my other cousins kick it with them, but I don't personally kick it with them.
Yeah.
So I don't have that connection, so I can go, you know, hey, hook me up.
Word.
I never wanted that. That's it. Just like I don't even like borrowing money, so you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's that, Is it pride?
I
more
feel
so?
you.
Yeah.
Pride?
My pride is strong. You know, it's foolish
I
in
mean,
a sense,
as it should
but
be though. As it
yeah,
should be. Right
yeah.
now, it's all about planting these seeds, though. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
Yeah.
facts.
You know, you got a lot of people that take, like you said, a lot of people that take the quick cash right now, but you know, somebody got to plant these seeds for the next generations
Right.
to live good, especially our people.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
facts.
Like, I got kids. You know what I'm saying? I need to plant these seeds now, so you know. They good when they get older. They ain't gotta worry about nothing. You know, they ain't gotta struggle or go through the shit that I've been through.
Investing for the future.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't think like that. It's all
Yeah.
about planting the seeds now. Somebody gotta plant the seeds, bro.
That's kind of what Nipsey was on, kind of.
Facts.
I want to get into him a bit deeper as we go on. Rover just showed up.
Rover
What's
here.
up, bro?
It's good, bro.
What's up, man? Have a seat. Just take the seat right here. Put the headphones on. Yeah. Wait till you get settled.
Yeah.
How you doing, bro? Introduce yourself to the people.
Hey,
Can the people see him?
you probably can't, but
I mean, kind of.
oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
But my name is Ricky Rover, stage name Rover, artist name Rover. I'm part of OKG. So
Are y'all like the founders of that group, or y'all just know each
yeah,
other
we
through
the
Yeah,
founders.
like
Word.
I joined, but it was just you know him starting it off, and then
Yeah.
he hit me up to be a producer on the crew, and then I eventually became one of the rappers on the label.
So let me
Yeah.
just get this clear. Mainstay is like rapping, producing. You do rap, produce too, or
Well, I do producing also, but I'm mainly just the artist. You know, we do multiple things, but we try to dip and dabble in different things so we can be, diverse and things like that. But
Word.
my main thing is just being really an artist and writing, and I know Grizz want to do other things also as well,
Right.
but he started off as a producer, but he's a great artist as well. So we
Word.
just dibble dabble in different things.
Right.
Right.
So do you like wake up each day and decide what you want to work on and focus on that for like the whole day, like all day of producing, all day of rapping, or do y'all separate y'all time and do all that
I
throughout
mean,
the day?
shit. Some days, I'm working on multiple songs in one day. You know what I'm saying?
Big
Or
time.
some days where if I really got a hit on my hand, it's just like I'm working on that one song just to get that one song done.
Right.
But I mean, as an artist, we working on 3 songs in our head per day. You know what I'm saying? 3 plus songs. You know what I'm saying? It don't really matter.
Is it as simple as like hearing a melody in your head and like it turns into like an actual song or to like an actual flow?
Can be.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
It can be.
Depends
It
on the
can-
moment.
Yeah, it can just be that, or it can be something that as something last week or a month ago you like, oh, that can go with that, or something. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just it happens spontaneous sometimes, and sometimes it happens like it's predictable in a way.
Yeah.
You know, you
Word.
can't really gauge it. It's just a feeling.
Word. How
Yeah.
often do y'all put y'all personal lives in y'all music and your art?
Like, all right. First off,
That's a great question, by the way.
I'm gonna just put this out there. I'm a thought. So,
Hey,
um,
he's speaking the truth. You gotta speak the truth, bro.
hey, I be on some wild shit. Like,
You
The-
owning it.
yeah,
Self awareness is key.
the life I live is kind of crazy. Mind you, I just came from a church convention this weekend. But
I can't.
I mean,
He wasn't sober too. Add that in there, bro.
bro.
Bro, you
I had
wasn't
a
sober in church, bro?
listen. I had an open bottle of E&J in the suit pocket.
He's really serious
Don't-
because he's
I'm
so serious.
dead ass,
Bro,
yo.
don't-
I
He
got
called me while he was
Hold
doing
on,
all
hold
of this.
on.
That's
Don't
nuts.
don't say
The
the
Lord
church
was
name,
definitely
bro.
watching and
No,
judging,
no,
bro.
I'm
Don't
not
say
saying
the church name,
I'm
bro.
not saying the church name. But yeah, they was doing the ties, so I went to go get up. A little bit spilled, so it was running down my jacket a bit, and I'm like, damn, I just smell like alcohol.
Word.
And then the pastor just looked at me, and he was like, I'm gonna pray for you, son. I was like, alrighty, like that's why I'm here. You're
Word.
supposed to do
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean? But
I mean,
yeah,
everybody.
it was a great day.
How you feel about that question, K Rock? I don't really. I always put.
I mean, I'm trying to, ease in, parts of my life into my music.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as everything I have out now, you won't know nothing about me. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. Because someone like Drake is like very candid with his life, and every song is about his life. So
Yeah.
I wonder if
it's-
that's like a
And I think
easy decision.
that's a great thing, though. Artists doing that and like expressing everything that happens in their life and their music. That's a
For
good
real.
thing too. But it's also not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy just telling the world everything. You know what I'm saying?
For real, for real.
So if it's not your personal life, where does the content come from?
I mean, to be honest, it can come from anywhere. But for me, I know that I have to be personal with my writing and my lyrics and certain things like that, because to me, rapping is just not rapping for me. It's like therapy for me. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Facts.
I know that it's other people go about it by different ways, but for me, it's not like I have a choice. Like I have to write because it's just smoothing. If I don't, I get frustrated through the day.
Word.
Like I have to do something musically to get through my day.
It's,
Like
it's
you
an
know
escape.
what I'm saying? It's an escape form.
Got it.
So for me, I put a lot of effort into spitting or certain things that are subliminal to my lifestyle, because it's just
Subliminals.
I'm a big thing on that, on
Yeah.
subliminals. I can't state exactly because I don't want exactly for people to know.
I think that's what I do.
Yeah.
I do that. I'm more subliminal, but like you have artists that just tell it straight out.
Yeah, that's,
Drake saying Shake's names
Yeah,
like blatantly.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's great. I mean, Grizz, no, I done did it before. But it's just certain
Shit.
times when you get up to a certain point, you really can't do that. Like you,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
you really gotta keep your cards to yourself. You really don't want everybody knowing your business, especially if those listeners that you saying are listening to those songs.
Right.
You know, I did that. I made a mistake a couple of times saying people's name and didn't really know how they would feel about it, and they actually felt hurt about it on certain situations. So that made me kind of gauge back and try to say a little subliminal. You know, either way, I'm gonna get it out there, but I just
Right.
the way of me getting it out there is very
Right.
cautious, and you know what I'm saying.
I may have chosen like the wrong songs to listen to on the way here, but I listened to one of your songs on the way here to kind of get like a good comparison to all three of your styles.
Yeah.
So I listened to Black Queen. That's my favorite song
Yeah,
by
that
you.
shit hard.
That shit's
Thank
dope.
you, thank you,
Hard,
thank you,
bro.
You have a
appreciate it.
track.
That shit is hard,
I
bro.
appreciate it.
You have a
for
track
real.
called Faded,
Yeah.
and you have a track by you called Gang Gang.
Okay, yeah.
So those are all dope songs, but like they're all kind of different in a way. So I was curious if you guys have like a certain, I guess, title for your type of style, or is it
So-
just versatile?
Gang, like I treat my SoundCloud as my sandbox. I can throw whatever I want in there. It's gonna fit. Sandbox, it don't matter what type of toys you have, it's gonna work. So that song, we have a TBN group chat. TBN is my homies out of Hillside, New Jersey.
Shout out to TBN
know,
for real.
Stay with the gang, you feel me?
Yeah.
But so my young bull YTA, who's another rapper out of Hillside, New Jersey, his son, he was just playing around with him, and they was teaching him how to say it. So it was TBN gang, and I just chopped it up, threw it in the beat, because I wanted the homies to rap onto it. But like I was talking about earlier, sat on the shelf,
Yeah,
so it just hasn't come out yet. But hopefully they get to it. So that's pretty much just an instrumental, for the gang. But I put it out there for other people to enjoy.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you take me through your process of making Black Queen, if start to finish?
Oh,
if
I
you
was
can.
gonna tell you. Damn, I'm on a versatile.
Versatile. Okay, got it.
Just I don't want to be boxed in. Just one lane. I feel as though I can do everything.
Right.
And like, I mean, my favorite is like really like turned up shit. Like rapping fast, like talking my shit. I'm saying I enjoy rapping. On uppity type beats. But go ahead.
Why is that? Like,
I don't know. I just feel like any songs with like energy, like on some for example, Meek Mill type energy. You know what I'm saying? I like
Yeah.
songs like that. I mean, rapping fast and just the whole song just has feel good song, uppity, energy. I like tracks like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I can also slow it down to some R&B shit. It's like I just like dipping and dabbing in everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel as though you might like one song, you might like a different song, you
Right.
might like a different song. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and I'm open to everything, bro. Like.
from my perception as like a fan of music, I feel like you should be able to do that because
Yeah.
if you just do one sound, it'll get oversaturated and convoluted fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Back to your question. So Black Queen, so the instrumental itself, produced by Exotic, one of the producers on our label.
Yeah, I met him before.
I had that beat for a good like solid year before I even like wrote to that beat.
Oh, that's dope.
It took me a while because like I knew that beat was like I had to write something special to that song, and it was just a random day, and I mean I'm texting my wife, and she always texts me, what you doing, King? What you doing, King? And like I'm just like I'm at work, working, writing in my head. I'm just like I text her back, what's up, Black Queen? You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, Black Queen, bro, like. Black Queen, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
And then like from there, I just took that word, Black Queen, right there, and I just ran with it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to create something special that meant something, that one, that needed to touch, people of our color. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to write something where when you listen to the words, you can actually feel the words. You know what I'm saying? That I wasn't just talking some bullshit. I mean, it's crazy because the song is so simple.
Yeah.
The song is so simple, but it speaks volumes.
Super
Right.
You know what I'm
digestible.
saying? It's just
Yeah.
like, and that's what it's all about. Is a lot of people can't make music like that. You know what I'm saying? To make it so simple and so digestible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Black Queen is inspired by my wife, bro.
It's definitely involved.
it's-
It's
For
definitely
sure.
a vibe.
I love that
and
shit.
it's
mean,
just
When
go ahead.
I just want to say my little comment. When I first heard it, I hit you right up and was like, "Yo, it's a vibe." Like, you know what I'm saying? You could tell when somebody is sticking to something, a certain feeling that he felt.
Yeah.
Writing that song or spitting it in the booth, it just was real. Again, what we talk about being therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like it was very therapeutic for him
Yeah.
to stress that about, him, having a wife and having a Black queen and, all of his situations with, his wife and things like that and how you get into love and stuff like that. So I really, really, really
Too
was
many can
messing with
relate
the
to that.
song.
Too
Yeah.
many
Facts.
can relate to that.
And I just
Yeah.
feel like, women in general, like they need music like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they do.
Like
Yeah.
music that's dedicated to them,
For
bro.
real. People in general, for
Yeah,
real.
people. Yeah.
Even outside of
It's
the
just like,
music,
for
women
real.
need us. Like women need more support from us. There's so
Yeah.
much negativity they
Yeah.
they get daily.
Right.
Harassment,
Yo,
fucking
dude's still out here getting mad at chicks for breastfeeding, yo.
fam.
Bro.
There's a
What
dude.
the-
There's a
Bro.
dude. There's a dude. Yo, there's a dude in the
Bro.
Bronx.
That's
A dude in the
crazy.
Bronx
Bro.
just killed his girl. He just
Right,
killed
I just seen that.
for sleeping overnight.
Bro.
It's the male ego, man. It's too
Yeah.
fragile.
Yo, you
It's too
deserve to
fragile.
take a life over what?
Wait, what?
Like
Because she stayed overnight in, I guess,
Stayed
at a
over-
friend's house, and
Oh, she killed him?
no,
No,
he killed
he
her.
killed her.
He
Yeah.
killed her.
Wow.
Bro.
Wow,
Wild
you
shit.
It's
put on
crazy.
some 2K or something, dog.
Oh,
You need to
man.
occupy your time.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm glad he turned himself in, but he a bum.
Did he turn himself in? I thought he just got
Nah,
arrested.
he turned himself in.
and
He
he
turned
gave
himself
him the
in.
keys.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could you put a title on your style of music?
Not really. I just think of stuff that comes to mind. Like I can't really pinpoint of my style. I could say I have a certain rapping Wu-Tang kind of thing. Like I'm an old school type of rapper. Like I like lyrical stuff as well. And I'm very old school, you know. Like I grew up on Method Man and listening to Redman and listening to my favorite rapper Styles P. You know what I'm saying? Like my first bars that I ever heard was Lil Wayne mixtapes eras, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Way back then. I'm talking
Yep.
about Drought too. You know what I'm saying? So that was the music that I was listening to.
The good old days.
Growing, yeah, the good old days when people didn't care about money, they just was rapping just for other people to hear hard bars.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
It
saying?
was all about
It
bars.
all
man.
about bars. It wasn't nothing about no stage presence or money
Beats
and
was
all
still
of that.
fire.
Beats was
And the beast was fu-
and the
still
beats was
bro.
fire.
But it was
You know what
bars.
I'm saying? But it was bars. So
Yeah.
that's what I came up on, and you know I dibble and dabble in different things, so I can't really pinpoint it. But I'm a hard like core old school type of rapper.
Are y'all accepting of like all the newer rappers, like all the Lows and the fucking? They all
Me
sound the
personally,
same.
I love it.
He does.
Yeah.
Me personally, I love it.
I wouldn't say I love it. I accept it. I mean,
Man,
I'm not that old yet. I'm 27, but like I still am kind of like I like my
I'm
old
a-
shit. You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
What's good is
Right.
what's good to me is what I believe is how it should be. You know,
Right.
lyrical miracle shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
I
it's all about the lyrical shit.
Yeah,
dog.
it is all about it's all about the lyrical shit. I just don't. I accept it, but I don't agree with it. Like I can say that. Like I can honestly say that. And I know I know me and Grizz, he shares certain artists that he knows, and I share certain artists that I know, and it's a different type of concept. So with that being said, he likes his certain style, and I can't.
yeah.
Like I can hear it, but I can't really like listen to it. Like I won't go back and listen to it. Like if he showed me something, be like, "Yo, this is how," and
Be
bob his
slapping,
name
too.
and be slapping. I'll look at him and be like, "Ah, yeah, it's cool," but I can't never go back to it because that's just not my style.
Some of it sounds fun. Like there's this
Right.
one rapper
Yeah, it's
on the
just
West
fun
Coast,
music.
Low House Phone.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
dumbass name.
That's my nigga.
But that shit, it sound pretty cool. Like when you catch
Yeah.
a certain type of vibe. You know what I kind of noticed, like with these newer rappers though, I feel like there's no sense of like competition anymore. I feel like they don't want to be the best. They just want to be accepted.
Yeah, they just want to be out there, bro. That's what I think.
I think they want to be out there, and they also it's about money now.
They don't care about
Yeah.
the content.
It's really about money. Like a lot of these newer artists, you can even go back to, you know, I don't want to say artist names, but it's a lot of artists that just be like, yo, I don't really care nothing about music. Like, I want to do this for money.
I'm not an
like, they
artist,
don't
I'll
care
say
about the.
Blueface, he's one of the rappers I heard say that.
Yeah.
Cardi said it.
Cardi said it.
Word.
You
You
know
know
what
what
I'm
I mean?
saying? And that's not knocking her because she came up. You know, she a
Yeah.
great artist now. I feel like she putting in the
Shout out to
hustle in.
Starlets.
Yeah.
But you can't, right? But you can't get on. You can't say you don't care about your art and say you just want to make money,
Yeah.
because that means that the day that it drops and your junk not slapping, you moving on to whatever you moving on to get bread.
yeah.
You never cared about the art. You just want to make it for the money,
At
and
the
I
same
can't agree
time-
with that.
It's like it's a lot of people that's working the job they don't like, but they there for the money.
Right.
Mm.
So
That's
if
a
you
good
have that
example.
opportunity,
Good example.
you know what I mean?
Right, but okay, with you saying that is even if they there
Not
for
my
that art.
morals.
No, I know
Yeah.
that's not your morals, but I'm saying even the people that's working for that job,
Right.
it's certain people that have that job and hate it, but they know that it's a process that they doing it for a greater good to get to another job or get to something else.
Right.
Yeah.
They there because it's slapping and it's making money. They don't care about nothing. They just,
Mhm.
oh, that's the money, so we gonna stay here. I hate it, but we gonna stay here.
She don't got a college degree and got a kid, and what she doing working?
Yeah,
That's,
that's a fact.
I
Hey.
mean,
Hey,
I hear it. I just, like I said, we agree to disagree on it.
I bring up competition also because you guys are very supportive of each other. It seems
Right.
like, from my perception.
Of course.
right.
But at the end of the day, you guys
New
are all in the
Jersey.
same industry. You're all trying to come up. Do y'all
Yeah.
feel a sense of competition between each other?
Well, since this nigga Rover started producing, I've been cooking the fuck up.
Okay.
Because this man trying to catch up to me. I be seeing the
Yeah.
process. Like I kind of look at the bull as like a engineer as well, because he spends so much time EQing, mixing, and mastering the tracks that I send him. The stuff that he's working on, he's very delicate with the process, and
Right.
he definitely takes his time with
Word,
it.
I
So
appreciate it.
now that the fact that he's picked up producing, and I see that same compassion with that, I'm like, oh, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, get in my bag.
I honestly, I just want to be the best for my team. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is a prize. Like, if he wasn't here, I would still be doing the same moves that I'm making. But since he is here, he's a big part of the team. It's just like I feel like I have to be my best, not just for myself now, for him as well.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
vice
Because I
versa.
can, and I can make a beat, and I probably won't even rap the beat, and I'll send it to somebody else, and they rap over. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's just a camp thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? We really just trying to be the best we can be, not just for us, for
Yeah.
ourselves. You know, I didn't pick up producing just to, just to be in the basement doing whatever I'm doing. I picked it up because I really want to help the crew.
Be
You
more of
know,
a contribution. That's dope.
Yeah, for
Do
real,
you-
for real.
I agree with what he says.
Because
I
like
never
CR
looked-
seems like your direct competition to me.
Yeah, but I
CR
never,
is comp. Shout out to CR for real.
yeah,
for real.
shout out to
Word,
CR.
shout
Yeah,
out.
but in general, I never looked at it as a competition. I mean, I just looked at it as, we all pushing to be the best that we could be, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, we all in the same industry. We all working together, supporting each other, and it's all about
Right.
support at the end of the day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So
Making something bigger that's bigger than ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I mean, yeah, CR, he go hard, bro. Not me. I'm gonna try to go back to back with him, but on the same time, we on the same teams. Like
whoever makes it first, I suppose
no, it's
everybody
just
comes
like,
with them.
we look at every song as we try to bring hits out. Every song. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm not slacking on any songs.
Word.
I'm not. It's no time to be putting out bullshit songs.
Word.
Like we at the point where we take this shit as like a professional thing. Like this is our craft. This is the business for me.
Yeah.
I'm running the business, so it's like everything we do is serious. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at the competition. Yeah, at the end of the day, you can say it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm supporting him, going to his shows. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Facts.
Word.
Facts.
Facts.
And I don't really want to say it like they coming with, like, say if a certain label came up to me with an idea or whatever like that, I can't say Grizz is coming with me. It's
Right.
together. Like, it's either you take us as us or you don't take us at all.
Yeah.
I respect
Like, you know
that.
what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I'm
Gang
real
over
hardcore
everything.
about that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really want people to be like, yo, Rover is a nice artist and everybody else just fall through on the camp. Nah, like, everybody that's on that camp is slapping. Everybody else is putting in hard work.
Yeah.
And if they not, then they wouldn't be in the camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As it
Like,
should be.
I'm really hardcore about that. Like, I don't want nobody else slacking, and I don't want nobody else to drop. Like, we here, this is us. It's a us thing. It's not just an I thing.
How do you get in the crew? You got to get jumped in? You
Nah.
gotta pay, you gotta
Yeah,
pay.
hell yeah, you gotta get jumped in, bro.
Oh, damn.
You gotta prove
Yo,
your
I gotta
worth.
get
Man, don't
I gotta
leave-
get jumped to get
Don't
in
let
the crew.
nah.
Yeah.
Don't
You gotta
these.
prove
A
your
week
worth.
later, you gotta catch a body. You know what
Nah.
I'm saying?
Don't let these people fool you, bro.
But
Ain't
like,
that.
are y'all accepting it, working with like having new people in, or is it just strictly who y'all with now is you're gonna ride with?
Well, it's a feel thing.
It would definitely be a process for somebody. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't just gonna hit up the line and be like, yo, I want to
Yeah.
be
It's
a
down.
field thing.
You know what I'm
Got it.
saying?
And we have people that is like that, like, or just hit us line like, oh yeah, yo, y'all crew is slapping. Like, what's up? Can we be
Right.
down? Like, no.
And
like,
it's a lot of people
you
like
know?
that that's on the outside looking in. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's a
Right.
lot of people like that, bro.
Yeah, you just gotta put in the hard work to be
Yeah.
honest, and we gotta have a certain chemistry and a certain connection.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm really hardcore about that. Like he knows that. Like I've been with Grizz since we was young days. You know what I'm saying?
Grace Will Day.
Yeah, Grace Will Day days.
Okay. Damn.
So that's when we were young, you know what I'm saying? So it's just I'm not accepting everybody. Like I have to know that you have good intentions as a person, and I have to know that you have good intentions as an artist. And if you don't, then I can't rock with that.
Facts.
I just
agree.
can't.
Facts.
I feel I can relate
know?
to you guys on this level because I feel like we're betting on ourselves and we're putting our all into our
Yeah.
passions, right?
Shit, all money
Plan
in.
A or plan A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have y'all ever considered the thought of a plan B? Do y'all have a plan B?
They don't exist
I,
for me.
Like, is there an age gap? Like, if y'all not on by this age
Nah.
or time, is that it?
No,
I ain't put no gap
not at
on
all. Jay-Z dropped his first album when he was 26.
Right.
There's no age gap in this game of artistry. There's no limits to this game of artistry.
I think Danny Brown was like between 32 and 36.
Right. What was the artist
Danny
that?
Brown.
He
What
took
was-
that bag and ran.
Right. He did.
I'm glad he
You
cut
know
his
what I'm
hair and
saying?
got his teeth fixed, man. We had the one
Oh,
teeth
that's-
and
That's
the
good.
crazy hair to the side. That was a little too much. But the albums was dope back then. So
Right.
Yo,
Trinidad
bro.
James had that one hit, and he
Yo.
was like 30 something.
I wouldn't say it was one hit,
So?
bro. Nah, he had more than
He had
one
more
hit.
than
one hit.
Definitely,
Right, right.
Trinidad.
He had a couple hits, but I'm saying after that.
but y'all wouldn't
What
feel
happened?
comfortable with like your art is out there on the internet. There's
Right.
a chance some young kid will find it and be inspired by that.
Absolutely.
That wouldn't be enough for y'all, even if y'all didn't make it to
Absolutely.
potentially inspire the next generation.
Shoot, it's all about pushing it forward.
Yeah.
You know, inspiring somebody to want to pick up producing.
Great
Like
words.
I got cousins
Absolutely.
and other family members that's like, oh, I didn't know you were into this. I've been
Absolutely.
working on this, or I heard your stuff and it made me want to go back in the studio and work on something.
Mhm.
You know, granted, it ain't meant for everybody. Shoot, it might even not be meant for me.
Yeah.
You know, but the fact that I can inspire the next or, you know, push forward the culture,
Facts.
Yeah.
that's
bro.
what it's really about.
Yeah.
I've had a few people tell me what I'm doing is definitely inspired them. That's more than enough. That's more fulfilling
Absolutely.
than me getting that check for
Mhm.
a big podcast show. Or something.
That's
Absolutely.
and that's exactly what we was talking about earlier. It's
Yeah.
people that do things for the check, and it's
Mhm.
people that do things for the greater good in
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
You're doing it for the greater good because that check don't matter if you get 2 and 3 people saying, "Yo, I'm inspired by that. Like I want to go and do that." And every time they see you, they want to do something that inspires them to do something. And it's a line, like
Yeah.
it's
Right.
it's just a big fishing line that keeps going and going and going because that person is gonna do something, then somebody else is gonna follow that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's
Moving it
more than
forward.
about money, because money comes and goes. Money
Facts.
is replaceable,
Right.
but certain vibes and certain connections with people cannot be replaced
Irreplaceable.
at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Moments like this, like
Yeah.
you guys coming on this platform and sharing your story, that means
Right.
more to me than me possibly getting a check one day.
Shoot.
Let's say I get a check from this interview, you know?
Right.
This experience tonight, like, is more valuable to me than that check.
Yeah,
Just because I really fuck what you guys are
Word.
doing.
Yeah.
Appreciate
we
it.
appreciate
Nah,
it.
this
definitely.
moment, it's a special moment though, cause this is like my first interview, my first interview, and nah,
Oh, yeah?
even how we met. Nah, I mean, just off the vibes, it was
Mm.
like, yo, like you know, you're mad cool.
Mhm.
I want you to come on my podcast, and like the energy there, which is like it was amazing, bro. Right off that,
Word.
Do y'all tune into podcasts ever? Like, what's y'all history with them?
Well, I knew the podcast like from CR. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just from watching him and seeing him on the podcast and doing what he was doing. So I knew, you know.
I just meant in general. Like, do you listen to like other podcasts in your free time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I listen to like podcasts that are very controversial. Like I listen to Joe Budden podcast sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Joe Budden's my man. Plus he from, you know, that's a Jersey native.
yeah.
so
Of
would
course.
would we consider that a mainstream podcast?
Now, because I think they got the
Yeah,
Spotify
that's-
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They
me.
got
But
the
they
deal
still
with
keep it like
Spotify.
real rudder.
It's-
They
to
was
the
cooking up
street,
deals with
but-
Apple too,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it wasn't just like they was just lacking. They already had deals cooking up with Apple
Word.
before they even had to deal with Spotify.
So what about
So-
underground podcasts? You fuck with any underground podcasts?
Yeah, I mean, my man is cooking up. I don't remember the name of his podcast, but my man is cooking up. My man from St. Pat's is cooking up a podcast that he doing with sports and things like that. So I follow a lot of upcoming podcasts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really on the internet as much as I should be. I'm not a great fan of the internet.
Yeah.
So I try to be on it as when I do, I try to be productive as I can, but I'm not savage like a lot of people.
mind
You
if
know
I
what I'm
it's some
saying?
individuals
And
savage.
some individuals that
I
be
mean,
savage on the
it's like,
internet.
I give-
Let me
just not
introduce
like
y'all to a savage.
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
I'm an internet baby. You know what I'm saying? AOL chat rooms. I was getting
Yeah.
kicked out like a mug.
AOL chat rooms.
He's
is
an
crazy,
internet,
bro.
and he's
AOL
an
chat
internet
rooms,
savage.
I can see
Hey.
it. I can see it.
If
Yeah.
y'all remember me from Tiny Chat, was good.
Never
Um,
even heard of that, bro.
Tiny
Nah.
That
chat.
sounds made up. Like,
I remember
Yo.
AOL chat.
Yo,
that shit was lit.
nah, I
Names,
remember.
screen names.
Names?
Yeah.
Oh
Bruh.
man.
I seen the nigga get shot on Tiny Chat. He was walking down the street
What?
with his MacBook Pro trying to stay up in the chat, and niggas seen him with that big ass bright screen, lit his ass up.
Oh
You know what I'm
my
saying? It was a
God.
weird night because you know what I'm saying. I ain't telling nobody. I just like went to sleep.
That sounds like some dark web
But
shit.
I woke up and I
It
was
is
like,
some
damn. I
dark
seen,
web shit.
hey, right, but back before you had to go to the dark web to see shit like that because it was in abundance. But
Word.
so being the fact that I'm an internet baby, my podcast experience started back when Fat Man Scoop and his wife started Man and Wife on iTunes. Cause I used to, you remember Happy Tree Friends, the cartoon?
Nah.
It would be like these animals that would just die every episode, some crazy shit. I'm
That
a wild,
shit
I'm
sound crazy.
What's the
I'm
name
a,
of
I'm a
it
wild,
again?
I'm a
What you
wild
say?
boy.
What's
It
the
was
name?
on G4 TV as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
remember
G4 the
G4
video
TV.
game channel?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Why
they
it
used
sound
to
like it
run
was on Adult Swim? I thought it was on
G4
Adult
still
Swim.
around?
It should be.
It
No.
should be.
Yeah,
It
nah.
should be. It should be.
Bruh,
It should be, bro.
RPG4, man. So
Remember Cheat? What was
Cheaters. Yeah,
Cheaters,
they used to
yeah.
run that in Cops all day.
Yeah.
But so Happy Tree Friends was on iTunes as a podcast. I found Man and Wife. This is like probably 2006. I'm 26 right now. In 2006, I had to be goddamn by like 9, 8. It was a sex podcast. So back to the part where I was talking about I was a thought. It's
You
that kind of
guys-
influenced me. And they
You
used to
gotta
have
stop
some,
with this shit.
hey, that's around the time we got into sex ed, whatever. I was going home doing homework.
Right.
You feel me? So I learned a lot of things. It was a great podcast, very informational. Definitely opened my eyes to that aspect of life. I had certain traumas that went on in my previous times that kind of advanced my brain a little bit
Yeah.
as to what adults do. So I was intrigued by it, and from that podcast, I stayed with it. I don't consume too many visuals unless it's like anime or something like that.
Word.
I don't care for fake people interactions, so I don't watch too many like TV shows and things like that because it's scripted.
Mhm.
Granted, anime is too, but you can
It looks
capture
cooler.
everything you want: horror, sadness, laughter, joy. That's all in anime as well. So I just prefer to get it on that perspective.
Word.
It's funny.
And I didn't know that myself. So me looking at that like, oh, I didn't know that's why he watched. I knew he watched a lot of anime, but I never knew why.
I mean,
So-
it's
There's really only one anime you need to watch to get everything you just described. You've seen Evangelion? That's like psychological. That's like horror. At least as a kid, it was.
Yeah.
I'm going off a tangent. I want to start an anime podcast like separately
Oh,
when I get
shit.
popping.
Hit me up.
Yeah, hit this man up. Please do.
Shoot, Yu Yu Hakusho,
Yeah, that's my
Cowboy Bebop, Naruto Kenshin,
Word.
Big O, shoot,
We gonna get it.
whatever.
Word.
I don't know if I properly explained like the reason why I started this podcast to you guys ever,
Yeah,
but basically, podcast for me, I've really suffered from depression like a lot.
yeah.
About a year and a half ago, it was like really, really heavy. But I noticed about myself, certain podcasts like the Joe Budden podcast, like the Brilliant Idiots,
Yeah,
were my escape from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally got to that space of like a clear mind and clarity, and when we listen to podcasts too, like someone says something you disagree with, you find yourself yelling in your phone, and no one can
Yeah.
really hear you, right?
right.
So 2 reasons why I want to start my podcast. I wanted to be heard,
Mm.
and I wanted to provide that same form of inspiration and escape for people who suffer
Right.
from depression as well, like those shows did for me.
Right.
And that's how Introverted Intuition was born. So I was curious, like, what are your guys' escape from depression outside of music, or do you even suffer from depression at all? Are you lucky enough to not experience it? Do you guys suffer from depression ever? What do you do to get out of it?
Every day. As far as like I touched on a little, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I've had certain traumas that have happened to me in my past, and for a big portion of my life, I felt defeated, but it just got to the point where I was like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm real cocky now. I wake up every morning like my shit don't stink. I believe in myself. It's not even really like cockiness. I have a goal and it's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just is what it is.
Hmm.
Can't nobody stop me. Can't nobody deter me. Like I said, I've had people in my circle tell me it won't work, or even outside of music, things I have a vision for, they tell me it's not possible. Or if you reach a certain age, which is like a limit, they want to put you in a box. If I reach that point, don't pursue it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So as for so depression, I deal with it every day, but I keep a smile on. I make people happy. That makes me happy. Push forward.
Heard you.
You know.
That's a good question though, because you
It
said
is.
outside of music, I use music as my getaway,
Hmm.
to relax myself, to ease my mind, to that's that's how I deal with my depression.
Music strictly.
But that's a good question. I should really think about what else do I do to really like get away from depression.
Because for
Yeah,
me, when I'm
you
depressed,
should.
I
That's
feel
a,
like I can't really create properly. So if you get depressed enough, maybe you're not be able to
Cause
move
I
straight.
Nah,
put
sometimes
music on,
Oh
sometimes you
yeah,
gotta sometimes you gotta use that depression like as a as an outlet to make art itself.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I know that's kind of hard. It's easy to say rather than be done.
It
yeah.
could be the
But
spark.
it can do that.
Yeah.
And going off topic, but a song that I have on the last album that I made was called Depression.
Right.
Like you
Right.
know what I'm saying? So
Produced
it's
by me.
yeah, produced by him.
dope.
So it just really is about what you feel in that moment and how
Mhm.
you can express it. Rather, it doesn't matter what really people think. Like it just matters how you get it out.
Yeah.
Like it can be you yelling 10 minutes straight. If that's okay, if that's going to make you feel better the next 2 days, then you do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for me, I have multiple different outlets for depression cuz I suffer through depression hardcore. Like you know what I'm saying? Like every other day when I wake up like it's hardcore, bro. Like and I don't really be talking about it to people cuz I take my exercises very seriously and I do meditation and I do yoga.
Hmm.
And that's something that people should pick up like and that's something that I'm actually working on talking to I ain't discussed this with Grizz, but I'm talking about with the principal of our old high school at ACHS about having yoga classes and having actual meditation classes in the high school.
Hmm.
Mm.
There's
that's
no
awesome.
high school,
Yeah.
it
That's
is,
dope.
and it's no high school that's in this New Jersey era that has classes for actual meditation and calmness and thinking. There's no classes that really in the United States about doing that.
Facts.
So, and that's a big part of it. Like, you can sit and talk about mathematics and reading and English and all of that shit if you want to, but that can't do nothing about when you in real life, when you in some deep shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you have to have those practices of controlling your mind. So, really feel like meditation is a big thing. I feel like meditation could heal a lot of people.
You know, I never thought about
Definitely.
that because, like, at least as a student, for me personally, like, I feel like I couldn't focus because it was too many classes, too many
Yeah.
work, too much
Yeah.
work,
Yeah,
too
yeah.
many tests. But if I had that maybe 15-minute, 30-minute session of just
Right.
calming my mind, that would help.
That
Right.
would definitely help.
I never thought about that.
And it should be a lot of schools that have been doing that.
Yeah.
And when I actually brung it up to a lot of first I brung it up to my high school coach, and I told him to bring it up to the board to see if we can actually have a meeting about it. And we supposed to be going to a meeting next month. And it's just like it's something that should be said. That's something that's very, very important. You
Right.
don't have a minute to you don't have 15 or 20 minutes to actually think about your life and calm your body down. All you have is going to classes, going from classes, and that time that you spend from going to classes and going from classes might be chaotic. You
Yeah.
might be seeing people in the hallway doing crazy, you know what I'm saying? Doing
Right.
stuff that you're not even really supposed to be seeing at that time.
Yeah.
But it's just like you don't have a minute to stop and think about your actual life and calm your body and calm your nerves. That's something that you actually need to do, and it's not practiced enough. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like because there's so many expectations forced upon us. Like at least during that phase of like high school, like our
Yep.
parents expect us to do well,
Right.
and then we have to expect to keep up a certain image and like
Right.
in schools, like so we can be accepted.
Yeah.
That's a lot to deal with as a kid. I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
pressure. you
Yeah,
know?
for real.
But as far as like how my depression kind of went when it came to school, like I already had I had epilepsy since the age of 8. So my first seizure I had at Washington School. Did the 100-yard dash. I came back in, just passed out. It was over. So I've had a couple seizures in that school, but primarily my epilepsy was like in my sleep. So that already was like fucking me up because I couldn't chill with my friends. I couldn't do certain things because I was a risk. People didn't want me going certain places. I was always being monitored. And then now you add the pressure of school. I never really had time to just self-reflect on what already's transparent going on in my life.
Right.
And yeah, if you're able to get, because everybody's going through something.
Yeah.
You know,
true.
somebody always has that one thing in the back of their mind that they're trying to process and might not necessarily have the time for it. So yeah, if we can get the kids an opportunity like that, that could be amazing.
That is.
Because in my adulthood, I have more time to self-reflect and
Yeah.
actually like process things that are going on in my life.
Right.
So it
I hope-
helps. It helps a
I
lot.
hope that yoga pass through, bro.
Yeah.
For
That'd
real.
be so dope.
Yeah.
That'd be a
I-
big change.
And that's
The
what we
community?
working. And this is
Word.
and for me, it's just a start. Like I want to have it through all of the high schools. I want to
Yeah.
have it through every single high school in New Jersey.
Word.
United, like it's bigger than that. Like you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just this is just a start. Like why not start it from New Jersey? Why not start it with the people that see you going through these things? And even with Grizz saying about the epilepsy things like that. Like my mom got epilepsy. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been through so much stuff as a kid, and I done seen so much stuff just as a child. Like you know what I'm saying? I didn't had to. My mom could sit up here and call you right now and she'll tell you how many times I saved her life as a kid.
Mm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I had to grow up real fast because there's just certain situations that you see that you shouldn't have seen. Like, I almost seen my mom die at 8 years old. That's something that is just you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even really fathom what you can see at a kid, as a kid, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it's something that you can't really even talk about to certain people.
Right.
But that's just another reason why we connect in a certain way, because he understands and I understand.
Yeah.
Y'all kind of have similar.
Yeah, we
stories of trauma.
have similar
Right.
things, and we have similar pain, and we use that pain to put it in something to help other people.
And it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't as lucky as you guys to have a proper outlet
Right.
for escape from that darkness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Most of them just have therapy, but in our community, for some reason, therapy is shunned upon.
It
It's
is.
not
Yeah,
accepted.
It is
Yeah.
because
In a way, yeah.
you know why? It is because there's no leaders in therapy. There's no people that's actually promoting therapy. When have you seen commercials that promote therapy? When have you seen ads that promote therapy? There's none.
None, yeah.
Because there's no leaders in it. Is like, if you do it, then you do it. Like I done had a conversation with my father a couple months ago, and I was like, "Yo, I think I really need therapy," and he laughed at me, like straight up
Yeah.
laughed at me,
That's the
Yeah.
problem.
and that's
Yeah.
and
That's
and
the
it's a
problem.
problem because it's like, and I can't blame him. I blame society because people feel that it's looked down upon. Like
You look
if you
weak.
go to therapy, you're crazy.
Right.
Like it's something really mentally wrong with you if you go to
Yeah.
therapy.
Even as black men, we're looked as like weak. Like we're not as
Right.
manly, I
Right.
guess, in a sense. If you kind of saw,
Absolutely.
and it's
Right.
trash.
Absolutely.
That's a trash statement.
I
It's
know.
a trash sentiment.
But at the end of the day, like I said, like people, we don't promote things that can be looked down upon. Like we don't want to promote certain things that don't put us higher. Like therapy is something that we should all be promoting as a black community, but we don't do that because it's just like therapy makes it seem like people you're crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Rather than you need help, you're mentally crazy.
Mhm.
And that's a problem. Like that's a real big problem. And that's the same thing as going back to yoga and things like that.
Yeah.
You know how many times kids done got sent to fucking detention and doing stuff or hanging around with the wrong people,
Mhm.
and you not even doing bad. It's just about your thought process or how you consume certain things. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? But a little therapy can change your whole mindset. But
Yeah.
people don't want to do it because it's just like,
For sure.
you retarded.
I
or
always
you
shout
crazy.
them. I always shout them out all the time. Talkspace, it's an
Yeah,
app on your phone.
yeah.
Go to Talkspace, man.
Word.
That shit saved my life. And of course, like the support system I have from my loved ones and the support from this studio, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Like if I wasn't able to do this,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be doing.
You would be in deep shit.
I would be in deep shit. So I'm always
Yeah.
forever grateful for Gotham Podcast Studio because giving me an outlet to express myself.
I've
Yeah.
used Talkspace myself.
Man.
I
I
found
haven't
out
used
about
it.
I
them
haven't used
through
it
Brilliant Idiots.
Yeah.
And I use them.
Brilliant
every-
idiots.
It's another
Yeah.
podcast. Charlemagne the God and
Andrew
Andrew
Schultz.
Schultz.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
you was about to say Charlemagne the God and Joe Button.
No, they ain't.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
they got it with that culture shit. Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nah.
yeah.
But I'm glad to hear you guys are pretty much accepting of like your depression. You understand it, and you know what to do to work past it. Like,
Absolutely.
self-awareness is very key.
I know what contributes to it, so the only thing I can do is try and mold my life to not even make it not relevant, but I don't know. I'm just looking for the moments where I can look past it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's probably why I live the way I do. Like I'm very like turn up all the time.
Yes,
you know
he
what I mean?
is.
Yeah.
Don't let this
Yeah.
man fool
Is he
you.
like all the
Free.
time?
Yo,
No, you don't understand.
Yo.
Like
So I
he's
shouldn't chill with him.
no.
Yo,
Don't.
yo,
Are
free
you a
spirit.
turn up? That depends on who
Yo.
you are.
He's a
Because
free
I'm not
spirit.
gonna tell you to be like, yo.
It's like a
go
light
to-
switch.
It
depends
the
on the
times that you need to turn, hit this man up.
Yeah.
Okay.
He will
Yeah,
turn you up.
yeah.
Whatever, he'll get it right.
Will I lose my relationship chilling with this guy?
Damn.
I'm not gonna say that on this podcast. Whoever this, if you know you got a lady or you got a fiance, I'm not contributing to that. But all
not
I'm
gonna
saying
force
is
your
that,
hand.
yeah. all I'm saying is that if you need to turn up, hit this man up. He'll get you right.
Now I
And-
know. I didn't even know you was the party.
Yo,
boy.
yeah, you
I
could,
mean,
you could.
nah,
you-
nah,
what?
all right. So like high school parties and stuff, I was there. I was the nigga with the Game Boy in my pocket. You feel me? Because that was my
Game Boy.
wave at the time.
Take
yeah,
it
I
back
was,
to the Game
you
Boy
know what I'm
days.
saying? Hey,
Game Boy or
hey,
Game Boy Advance.
my nigga,
Both.
both of them.
Yeah.
Pokemon,
Both of 'em.
Both of 'em.
Pokemon
You need that.
Silver in
You
the
need
pocket.
that
You
shit
feel
to
me?
not.
Yeah, Pokemon Silver with the Lugia on the cover, you dig? But like I was always the house party dude. Like I traveled a lot growing up by car. It was trash because I'm tall, and my mom would drive down to North Carolina, or we would go up to Maryland. We would go to Baltimore. I had family everywhere. Like I'm well connected, and
Plug.
you
Big
know,
plug.
You know, I don't need
Big
that
money.
label.
Big money.
I'm
Big
resourceful.
bags.
Heard you.
Big money.
resourceful.
Big money.
You know what I'm saying? So by me traveling so much, I picked up a lot of cultures, picked up a lot of things, and what's it called? I forgot where I was even going. What was the question?
You traveling a lot.
Traveling a lot.
No,
Well, you-
before that.
Well connected.
Before
We was
that,
talking about you were the party guy. And
Yeah.
like,
Right.
yeah,
So through me traveling and stuff like that, like I'm always in situations where sometimes, and also with the epilepsy, I was very indoors, you know, computer
Oh, okay.
kid, blah blah blah. So I was on that early wave of like band camp stuff like that, just finding music, and I love being around those people that were so into music like me. Like even being on Ear Milk I think Ear Milk was like a UK based music website or whatever.
Mhm.
So I always honed in on people that was just like in the crib checking out music, you know what I'm saying? Like the tiny chat shit I was talking about.
Yeah.
So house party vibe, we lit, you know what I'm saying? We got the gas, we got drink. What are you doing? Some acid, some shrooms,
Yeah,
some
this
Molly.
is why
you
he
know?
has. This is why I don't like this man coming to my house.
You know what I mean?
'Cause
Because
he
I
just be-
always got it. I always got it.
He's
One day I want to do a
dedicated.
podcast where we could actually smoke in the studio. I'm not sure if we'll be able to
Yo.
do that in the new studio. Probably not.
Nah.
But
Yeah.
that's like a hope one day to
Yeah.
just be able to smoke live on a
Yeah.
podcast.
My
That's
thing
how you
is
know.
that I just want to go back to what he was saying. Like I don't want everybody to think that you can push past depression. Like
Nah.
it's steps, like you know what I'm saying? Like cause it's times where you think like, yo, I can push past something and that's it. And then once that's it and you fall right down, you gonna feel even worse than you felt before.
Mhm.
So I just want people to know that, like, yo, it's a process. Like, don't think that your day that you do therapy, like I did, like my first day of doing therapy, I thought I was it. Like I
Yeah.
thought I was cured. Like,
Yeah.
like I thought, like, yo, I'm doing therapy now. Like I'm happy. Nah, don't let that shit fool you. Like it's a process. Like it's a continue process. You got to continue doing it. You actually got to listen, and you actually got to, calm your nerves or whatever like that. So just remember that it's a process. Everything is a process.
I'm curious if what goes on what go on in the world, like the crazy corrupt politics,
Okay.
Nipsey's death. Does that affect like your conscience at all in terms of making content and just in general?
Absolutely.
Because Nipsey's death kind of it's starting to affect me more and more each day because, the body is a shell, right? But the energy can always be felt, and it's just undeniable. And what I could see from his, it was very, very bright, very, very warm. You never saw him wilding out ever.
No,
Right.
Everyone has nothing but good stories about this
But
guy.
again, that's and not to put him down, but that's the stuff that you see before you actually seen him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because as you know, he's certified in doing the things that he was doing before then. Not to say that
Sure.
contribute to his death, because I would never say anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But it it has a tag on you. Like, you have a certain, auras that you carry with yourself when you get into that spotlight.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest
Yeah.
of your life. And it's
Mhm.
nothing that you can really actually do about it. It's just something that you have to carry.
Yeah.
So when people be like, "Oh, he's a great guy," yeah, I absolutely 110% agree. He was a great man. He was a great man to his wife, his kids, all of that, to the artistry, to the music. But what was happening before that? You know what I'm saying? You kind of get a sense of what was going on before that.
I think the way I'm
You
starting
know?
to see the situation more and more, it's just the yin and yang of life, right? He was doing so much great. Darkness
Balance.
is naturally attracted to that.
Balance.
And I don't see any other reason why he would be killed, because it's not fair, honestly.
Right.
It's not.
He was killed just off the strength, I feel, in my opinion, is just jealousy. Nipsey
Absolutely.
coming back in the
Yeah.
hoods.
Yeah.
So that guy's perception who killed him was probably stunting.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But he was just trying to help out.
And mind you, he put YG on, so him looking at it on the standpoint of, oh, you putting on Bloods, and I'm from your neighborhood,
Yeah.
and you ain't gonna mess with me.
Right.
You tripping.
Yeah.
When y'all saw the news of Nipsey's passing, how did it affect y'all? What were y'all first initial thoughts? Were y'all fans of him prior?
So
Not really. I really didn't listen to his music. I mean, I heard his music around, but as far as like on my own time, I never really listened to his music.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really sucks that it takes a death to make people realize what's going
Exactly.
on.
Yeah.
It
And
makes,
that-
it takes a death to bring people together. Like,
Yeah.
it sucks.
I
you know
hate
what
that.
I'm
I
saying?
hate that so much. Like, now you starting to see all these posts of him shooting his positivity. Like, I never really listened to Nipsey hustle like that, but I listened to what he was saying as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I liked him more as a person rather than an artist. I didn't
Yeah.
really listen to his music like that just because, at that time I was just working on my own little craft.
Yeah.
So I never really listened to his music, even his old stuff that was really jumping.
And it's crazy. It
I
takes
just
his
saw things
death.
that from him.
It takes his death for people to just now start listening to his
Right.
music. Like,
Right.
just people that just started listening to his music. You know what I'm saying?
But
It's
that's
just
how
like-
the game go, you know what I'm saying? And we gotta change that.
Yeah,
That's
we do.
really how the game go.
Yeah.
Like, and now in a couple months from now, you won't hear nothing from him.
Nope.
I hope that's
Well,
not true.
You won't hear nothing from him.
You're not gonna hear
I'ma-
nothing.
You're
do
not
what
gonna
I
hear
can.
nothing from him.
No,
I'm
you're
gonna do what I can to keep his message alive, because it's very important.
right.
Ownership,
Absolutely.
leadership.
Absolutely.
And
But we all know in this room, like, that's facts. Like, you're not gonna hear a couple
it
months
is.
from now
Yeah.
when something
Yeah.
happens or something new, drastic happens about an artist or something like that, you won't hear shit from him.
people's attention spans are crazy with social media.
Crazy.
I can't say. I got 2 points I want to make. I can't say necessarily once, like, the dust settles, he'll fade away, because I look at it on the art aspect of, like, there's a lot of things that have happened that necessarily won't get picked up until later on. Like certain artists back in the day, like not graphic artists, like, painters or drawers or whatever. Some of their artists just resurfacing, but people are looking at it as dope because it's vintage. It's gonna be a time everything repeats, and then whether you on a Cali playlist, the Cali playlist we could put on today gonna have some Too Short, gonna have some E40 or whatever, but in the future it's gonna have that nip, you know what I mean? And then people gonna still vibe with it. The other point I wanted to make was like we talked about a little bit earlier. I grew up around a lot of Crips, and I know a lot of the history with some of the sets. Nipsey's death affected me the same way Stanley Tookie Carter's death affected me. Definitely a man that had a past, and he was developing something greater than himself. Not necessarily always the most righteous way in the views of the people, but definitely a stand-up individual.
That's something that I really need to, like, I don't know, that's a little bit, because he's a different type of person, like, rather
Tookie?
than Nipsey. Yeah, Tookie was a different type of man. Nipsey was on a whole different level as far as positivity.
He was
rather
saying
than
it and
Tookie.
doing it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Tookie was Tookie.
Right.
I
You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm trying to get your aspect
yeah.
of. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to
I
pick
mean,
your
but
brain about it.
Tuki definitely changed the people with like the books he was writing while he was incarcerated, and
Right.
also he was killed by the state.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Which I feel as though shouldn't
So
happen.
you think Nipsey wasn't killed by the government or the state?
Shoot, that's some whole other shit. And plus, man, I don't really know the facts on that, man. That's some wild shit.
I don't like to put that out there,
Hey,
but the government is capable of that because there was a black
Hey.
man.
Man, we know the man.
you buck at my brother and I'm there, you getting
Yeah.
blasted, bro.
Yeah, we know the. We know.
They like,
we
look,
know the.
man,
Didn't the government
Yo.
put a
We
black
know the
man
truth.
in the Black
We-
Panther Party?
we
and
know
to
the-
get
Yeah,
information on them.
yeah.
So
We
Yeah.
know the truth. We
They got
see the.
MLK.
We
seen
see the process and we know it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna talk about it because this is your podcast. I don't really want to go into depth with it.
you can say whatever. I mean, but it's up to you.
My
freedom of
thing
the
is,
press, brother.
I mean, we know the truth. It's not nothing that is hidden about it. This man got shot in front of his store
With security.
with
there.
security there. 9 times out of 10, when it's a main artist or whatever is popping, whatever, you're a main artist. Talk about J. Cole, Drake. You have how many security guards with you? So with that being said, you probably got 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, such and such, etc. Now you walking out of the store that you've built. This is not a regular store.
Home base.
This is home base.
Ground zero.
Something that your neighborhood knows, everyone else in that city knows that this is your store. You walk out of that store with all the security that you got, and you're the only one that's getting shot.
No, but
No, he got
someone
shot
else
with
got
someone
shot.
else,
But like
yeah.
Nipsey doesn't move with security. Like that was
Right.
his brother's concern because he
Right.
would tell him like, "Yo, you can't kind of move around just by yourself."
Right,
But
but
Nipsey
he
was
has
always resistant to that.
but he has security there.
Yeah.
He
didn't
has
get it that
security
day.
there for a reason.
They were in
And
the
my-
store at
They
the
were
time.
in the store at the
Oh,
time,
and
but
they
my
put-
thing
got
is,
it, got it,
the
yeah.
reason that they were in the store at the time, they already had a previous argument before the shooting happened. The whole homie came into the store, is what people don't realize.
Yeah.
He was in the store.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's all of a sudden it just happened. Homie was in the store and they was talking about something. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the audio or whatever. I'm pretty sure it might
Yeah.
come out sooner or later.
Yeah.
But
You can see it in the footage.
you could see that in the footage that it wasn't a pleasant conversation. Then all of a sudden you walk out of the store, such and such happened, you get shot or whatever, whatever the case is. Now that they saying that the same man that the same lawyer that did OJ's trial is the same lawyer for him. Where is he getting this type of revenue? Where is he getting this type of money that he can have that type of lawyer?
I thought it was like the backing of the LAPD, right?
You-
because the
Yeah.
LAPD won't make their quotas and get their money just
Right.
off parking tickets. So they
Uh-huh.
probably want to keep that chaos going. So I could see that, but
I personally, I just don't think so because I just think that certain police officers and certain people in that higher power,
Yeah.
they understand what's going on. You see a man that's in politics, you see a man that's providing good for his family and also for the neighborhood and feeding them knowledge about certain things.
Right.
You understand what's going on. You want to stop it into it.
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You know you do. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it wasn't nothing. It wasn't on no street. It wasn't completely on no street shit. I think it was a dibble and dabble in something else. But that's my own perspective of it. I can't speak for everybody else. I done had plenty of arguments with people like, yo, that's just some street shit. And I just be like, okay. I just think it was something else rather than that.
Well, it's 3 sides to every story. The
Absolutely.
Yeah.
the truth, the fake, and what really happened.
It's a
Mhm.
fact. Rest in peace, Nipsey, though. The body is a show, like I
For
said.
real.
But the,
Rest
ener-
in peace,
the
Nipsey.
energy lasts forever. It's still here.
You know what I'm
R.I.P.
saying?
Nipsey.
R.I.P.
It'll
Nip.
be embedded into
Our
either
marathon
his kids.
continues.
Do y'all believe in like reincarnation? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
like someone will kind of embody his same message and same
Sure.
attitude in a
And
different
I also really want to put a big, dip into his children, and I hope they really, getting through and trying to, push forward and trying to be as great as they want to be. And also with Laura London too, because that's a big loss for her.
Facts.
We really talking about Nipsey, how big that Nipsey was with her. So I just really push, for his kids and his wife. Well, I
Just
don't
for
know
the
if
whole
that was his
family.
wife. Yeah, for the whole family.
bro.
And
For the whole
especially,
family. I don't
like,
know if that was his wife. Or,
we
yeah.
always pushing for kids to have their father around, and we just witnessed this
Absolutely.
man get, taken away
Mhm.
from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only did he get taken away, he was an outstanding father to his kids.
Right.
Mhm.
So they lost not only a parent but a guardian through this life that we live.
And
You
LA
know.
lost the leader at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Real leader.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, bro.
LA lost to he wasn't even just an artist, like he was just a leader. What kind of LA type of artist that's really in politics as much as he was?
Yeah.
Nobody.
I can't name nobody.
And that's also
Nobody.
nobody.
Also to touch
Nobody.
on, like,
Nobody.
his music wasn't that, like, he's big, but his music wasn't that big
It
because
wasn't.
the actions he did for his community was so much bigger
Yeah.
Mhm.
than his music, but the world still loved him regardless.
Right.
So
Rest in peace.
uh,
I'm curious, when y'all are creating your own music, do y'all tune out other music, and you just need to hear your own sound?
Yeah,
And
have
is that
to.
a distraction?
Have to. I mean, it becomes a distraction when you're, listening to the radio every day or listening to everybody else's music. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like my camp, his camp, everybody, we all got our own instrumentals, our own sound,
Right.
and our own libraries. So we're focused on our sound. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for me, it's easy to tune out everything else.
Hmm.
Um,
And how do y'all know when y'all done with the song? I mean, for producers, it's probably a bit more meticulous and a longer process
Yeah.
to figure out when you're done. But like, is it a feeling? Or is it just something
Sometimes
you know?
it sucks because like you have a great song and you just got all these thoughts just running. It's just like, damn, that sound good. That goes. It's just
Word.
like sometimes it's just never ending. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you just really got to pick and choose. Like, all right, let me finish this damn song. What do I really want to put in this song? You know what I'm saying?
remember
Right.
the remix era,
Mhm.
like where they was just dropping, but then
Remixing
like
everything.
then they had the remix era when the beat was flipped or you dropped the reverse on it or whatever. So like, there's always something you can add, change,
Yeah, it's
manipulate.
just like always,
Yeah.
bro.
It's a never-ending
tweak.
process.
You
Never
know,
ending, never ending.
yeah. So it's like the beat that Rover touched on earlier with the song Depression. That beat was from like 2014,
Hmm.
and the way I made it for a rapper to be like, rambunctious shit. But the way he approached it, it's like when it catches you, it's just at that good time.
It's just it's a different feeling. And, as him as a producer, he just have a certain, as a producer, what I had to learn is that, certain producers have certain feelings when
Mhm.
they make a beat. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They have a certain idea of how artists would jump on it.
Yeah.
But with me, it's just like, you don't know what you're going to get. Like, you
Got
might
it.
get something that you
Never
like.
know,
You
never
might
know.
get something that, you know what I'm saying? You really
Mhm.
never know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
What's
it's
y'all
just how it is.
What's y'all process like when actually making a song? Do you actually write on pen and pad, or is it iPhone?
I still write on pen and
On my
pad.
phone.
I do
iPhone?
both.
Pen and
I do
pad.
both, bro.
I do both, but more pen and pad because I really like to write.
I'll be
I just
fearful
like
of
to
losing
write.
the rhymes if I wrote it on pen and pad.
Hey,
I'm
man.
not gonna lose my phone as easy
Right.
as
I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
scared, writing in my phone. You might, you could lose
That's
data.
the thing.
True.
You
Lose
can
data,
lose
bro.
data.
Yeah.
Lose your
And the
whole
thing
phone.
is, a lot of technology can be corrupted. That's
Yeah.
what
Got it.
that's something that's slept on too. But I really like my things on piece of pen and paper because I know exactly where it's at.
Mhm.
I know how to get to it. I
Yep.
can read it how I want to read it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Shit, with
Yeah.
me, writing bars is definitely on my phone just because, like I said, I'm an internet baby. So technology always,
bars,
what's my thing?
bars.
But music wise, like production, it just comes to me. I could be watching not Curtis Mayfield. He had the movie Boss Nigga came out in
Yeah,
like 60 something.
that's early. Yeah.
I sampled that track because like I'll just be sitting there and like the tune of it, it'll just catch me at a moment. Or I spoke on my drug use a little bit. I'm a very trippy individual, so I watch like Yellow Submarine, Akita anime shit. Was it Heavy Traffic? So those trippy films, they like activate something in my brain when I hear
Yeah.
these sounds,
Mhm.
and it just makes me want to go to my beat machine and work on these products. I want to do a full Daft Punk album, their album Homework. They have a movie that goes to it called Interstellar 555. But I want to try and like remix that whole album. That
At
shit
first,
is-
I thought you were like one of those producers who sits in the studio making beats, but like the
Yeah.
TV's on silent.
Yeah, that's me too.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
I put up a post recently where I was like, me and my cousin, shout out my man Dwayne, big OKG supporter.
Yeah, shout out to Dwayne. Let's
uh,
go.
Back in the day, we used to just put Scarface on repeat, put it on the DVD player, and then just play music. Because while we're playing music, sometimes what they're saying will link up with the lyrics.
Yeah.
And that was like funny to us, you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of like molding my brain just to like make stuff that went to those moments or
Yeah.
match that vibe.
We got 5 minutes left, unfortunately. I just want to know what y'all working on right now. Do you have any projects coming?
Shit.
Any new
Well,
songs on the way?
Well, I know for me, we got our OKG project that's coming out.
Yep.
It's supposed to be
OKG.
around in June. We actually working on it far as right now. Like we got a couple songs done, but it's gonna be finished very soon, and it's gonna be something that's very epic to me. A lot of mixture.
Crazy production.
Yeah,
Crazy bars.
production,
Can't wait for
crazy
that.
bars, and it's gonna be something that's really going to hit certain vibes with certain people inside the camp and outside the camp. You know, I just really want to hit certain tempos when it drop. I don't want it to be something that's regular. As far as my last project, I want it to be something that's really gonna hit people's tempo and have you think a little bit, like this conversation that we having now. I don't want it to be something that just, okay, yeah, you heard it and then that's it. Like I want something that you really gonna think about, because that's what art is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
A painting that you can keep and keep looking at the wall, not something that you can walk past and say, oh yeah, that's cool.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, right now I just got Black Queen out, but I'm working towards something for the females. I'm not gonna say it's upbeat. I'm not gonna say it's like super slow, but like
Yeah.
yeah. So it's gonna be a little in between that. I'm thinking more like before the summertime. I really don't got a name yet. I was gonna call it Flower Girl, but I think I'm still debating off that. It's gonna be 10 tracks. But yeah, right now I just got Flower Girl. I'm just pushing Black Queen right now as much as possible.
Dope.
But the next
Yeah.
album is just gonna be strictly just like for the females.
Word.
Cause like I was telling you, like I feel like the females they really need something for themselves right
They need
now.
representation
Absolutely.
outside of
Yep.
themselves. Sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, you know, this album's gonna be for the females. The next album, who knows? Cause like I'm trying to touch all bases. You know what I'm saying? So it's no telling what I'm gonna come with next. You know.
Right.
And last question. Let's say tomorrow all y'all wake up with blue checks on your social media. I mean, you're not really on it, but
Nah.
you say you get one.
I ain't know.
Yo,
I
it's
ain't know
lit,
that shit
bro.
like
Let's
It's
that.
say
lit.
who's the first
I don't
person you
care.
DM to work with and the first chick you DM to try to holler at?
Tiana Trump.
Damn, that's a good question.
Off rip. I'm putting my thumb in it.
Damn.
Damn, nigga.
Trump.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's a great pick. Though.
Who would you work
The
with?
first
Who's-
person I'm gonna
Who
work
would
with.
I work with? Shit. I'm a Daft Punk.
Daft
All
Punk?
for it. All for it. Ain't nobody else on my list.
That's a good question, bro.
I wouldn't necessarily be reaching out to people to work with. Like if I feel like if I was verified, I'd just be working on my own shit.
Yeah,
Like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna be like, yo, let me hop on some. Yo, you trying to work, bro? You know what I'm saying? I just
I
would
mean,
really
they are
try
kind
to
of in
work on
arm's reach
myself.
though with that blue
That
check
blue
though.
check
That
is-
is true. That
That
is
blue
true.
check ain't
Never
you
know.
know ain't the world. That blue check ain't
Yeah,
the world. So
and
it's
it's some
like-
people.
I want
Some
one,
people.
though.
Some
want one,
people.
though.
I'm not saying you
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
want one, cause I would like one
We
too.
all-
But
we all
it's
want
just
one.
like I wouldn't be. Soon as I get it, I wouldn't think I would be step above
Yeah,
from me doing
feel
what
you.
I'm doing. Like you know what I'm saying? Cause absolutely, you gotta understand that one check is one follower from you not getting that one check.
Word.
So you thinking that you hot, you real hot shit, but you just
Word.
got one more follower or 10 more followers than whatever next man. So it's just like, I don't know. I just would
It don't
working on my
define you.
craft.
It
Yeah,
don't-
it
it
don't
really
define
don't.
you,
Yeah.
bro.
Cause yo, keep it a bean.
You just working on your craft. That's it,
I
yo.
went to Exotica last year, and the world is your oyster, my nigga.
Word.
Take that as you will. I had a great time.
All right, y'all want to shout out your social media? We can get out of here. Where can the people find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Rock The Ellis. K_ROC_DA_ILLEST. That's Rock The Ellis.
Google Grizz LaFleur and take a trip down the rabbit hole.
What?
What?
Okay. Anyway, Instagram name is Ricky Rover. Ricky RICKY, another R and another R OVER. Ricky Rover. Follow me.
Where and all this
Oh.
would be in the bio, and I'll definitely post about this shit as soon as it drops.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Facts.
coming, yo.
Facts.
Dead
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
No, I
No,
appreciate
for
it,
real,
bro.
for real.
Fire.
Before this shit end,
This shit was
we
fire.
gotta do this shit again.
No,
I know I
yeah,
came.
you can come
I
back,
know
yeah,
I
for sure.
came a little bit late,
Yeah.
but
Who
we
time,
got.
who time you running on, bro?
Yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? I came all the way from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. I
I'm
feel you.
I'm always making a move, so I
I
just
got
want
the
to really.
Airbnb so I could be out here for this.
We definitely gotta do this again, though, bro.
Anytime, yo.
For real,
Yo,
for
I
real.
appreciate you. This is my first interview, and I appreciate it.
I hope
bro.
I did a
Like,
good job. I
for
tried
real.
Oh
my
no,
best.
Nah,
Tried
you
my
do a
best.
You're a
great job.
professional.
You working, bro. You working. That's it.
Wherever you listen to this podcast, please utilize the rating system and follow them all on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at Introverted Intuition Pod. And that's it. Thank you for listening.
Cook it up. Cook
We
it
out.
Hey.